Am I the butthole for pretending to not know my grandparents? Just for background information, when I, female, 19, was 4 years old, my dad died. At his funeral, his parents told me, my mom, 28 yo at the time, and my sister, 6 yo at the time, that we are the reasons he died. They also kept his life insurance money, that was supposed to go to my sister and I. Since then, my grandparents have refused contact with all three of us, and the only form of contact I have with them is them sending me and my sister a $50 gift card to Walmart twice a year, birthdays and Christmas. The last time I received a gift card from them was on my 10th birthday, and it was for babysitting. I haven't heard from them since. They live in Florida and I live in New York, so I have no chance of seeing them either, at least I thought. Flash forward to present day, 3 days ago now, I was in Walmart near my house to get a few things for my mom. When I walked past the pharmacy, I saw my dad's parents. I tried to hide in the aisles because I didn't want confrontation, but they saw me anyway. They started asking me a bunch of questions about my family's financial situations and college and if I'm married yet, stuff like that. I responded by saying I have no idea who you are. They looked angry and shocked by this but told me who they were, and after that I told them I had no desire to talk to them and I didn't have anything to say to them anyway. I started walking away and was just going to leave it alone, but then they said, "You're so disrespectful. We are your grandparents and you need to treat us better than that. Your mom did a terrible job with you." After that comment, I turned around and went off on them. I said something along the lines of, "You are not my grandparents because you abandoned my sister and I after telling us we are the reasons for our dad's death and you stole his money from us. Don't you dare talk about my mother either because she did an amazing job with us without any help from you too. I'd be happy with never seeing your sorry faces again." I started to walk away again and heard my grandmother start to cry, but I kept walking. Am I the butthole? They are technically my grandparents, but they did so many things that are unforgivable. Edit. Also, my dad was active in the military when he passed. The VA has been paying my sister and I a certain amount every month since his passing. I did not have access to this money until a year ago, when I turned 18. To me, it doesn't seem like a coincidence that they showed up only a little while after I gained access to that money. Edit. Since a lot of comments are asking about how we recognized each other, I didn't recognize them necessarily. I heard the pharmacist say my grandfather's name when I was walking by. As far as them recognizing me? I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if they had been stalking mine or my mother's Facebooks to get any type of information possible. Not the butthole. They are essentially strangers to you, of their own volition. You reap what you sow. I couldn't have said it better myself. Not the butthole. Indeed. I really admire Original Poster for knowing exactly what to say at that moment. I think fate put them together so Original Poster could set the record straight. Not the butthole for sure. I think it speaks well of Original Poster's mom that her child could stand up for themselves and make a boundary. I love that. It also isn't a lie Original Poster doesn't know them at their choice. I love what was said, reap what you sow. So true. Not the butthole. Your grandparents sound like bad people. They also appeared just when Original Poster had just started receiving money. Yeah, that doesn't sound like fate, it sounds like stalking. Totally not the butthole. I had zero to do with my dad's parents growing up. They were abusive to him, and his 3 siblings, all of who turned out very effed up, and they seriously fell out shortly after I was born. I didn't have any contact with any of my dad's family until I was about 13 when my then stepmom encouraged my dad to get back in touch with them. I've seen them since probably about 6 times. I have no interest in having a relationship with them. They are cruel people who never tried to be in my life, both as a child and when my dad re-established his relationship with them. Even when he got back in touch, I only ever saw them when he took me round. They never contacted me themselves or invited me round. They could have had a relationship with me at any point, but they chose not to. The same goes for my dad's siblings. Again, he got back in touch with one of his sisters and I've met her where she proceeded to act as auntie to me and my sister, but she's a stranger to me. I'm not going to pretend I love somebody I have never met or know at all. They're all incredible narcissists, so I have no desire to have anything to do with them, and I don't think that makes me in butthole. My granddad died the other year, and apart from feeling sad for my dad, I felt no grief. I have no interest in forging a relationship with my grandma now she's alone. Maybe that's mean, but they didn't bother with me when I was a child, so I have no desire to bother with them now they're old and potentially regretting their horrible life choices. Not the butthole. And for my money, I'd say they were quizzing you about your education and finances and marital status because they are either in or about to be in dire straits money-wise. If they wanted to know all of that they should have stayed in touch and not treated you so horribly. They live in Florida but go to a Walmart in NY for their prescriptions? Right. I bet $1 they were going to try to hit you and your family up for money or lodging or something. Original poster replies. That's what I was thinking. The only reason they'd have to come up to NY is for my aunt, Dad's sister, but even then she lives an hour or so from me and the Walmart where I saw them was 5 minutes down the road from my house. So why were they there, you know? Not the butthole. If anything, you were nicer than they deserved. If they were so interested, where the hell were they for the last 15 years? Agreed. As far as I'm concerned, original poster was about as polite as she could be. I would have had a number of choice words for the craven people that left a widow with 2 children and stole their financial security after the death of their father. Stole their financial security. I'm not sure about this part. I think it's possible original poster, who was very young at the time and is still pretty young, may not fully understand everything that happened. A person's parents don't get to just keep his life insurance money if it truly is intended for someone else. If original poster and her mom and siblings were named as the beneficiaries of Dad's life insurance policy, there is no way the insurance company would give that money to anyone else, and even if they did through some insane error, they would be completely liable for that and it would get unwound. My parents divorced when I was young and my dad was supposed to change his policy to go to his kids instead of my mom. When he died, the company tried to give it to her, and she brought up that he was supposed to change it based on the divorce agreement. The company's decision? Give it to his mother, my grandmother, who was a raging and would have kept it for herself. Even with proof it was supposed to be changed to us, they tried to give it to Grandma. My mom had to go to court to get them to give it to the US like they should have in the first place. Why do I feel they were stalking you and going to the Walmart was more than a coincidence? Skimming replies and comments here but wondering why your bio mom didn't fight for your insurance money from your dad's passing? And not the butthole. Insurance money isn't part of an estate and goes directly to the named beneficiary. It isn't something that can really be stolen without a ton of effort and multiple crimes. I bet original poster's dad forgot/neglected to change the beneficiary when he got married or had kids. In that case they would be legally in the right but not morally. Many life insurance companies will not release funds to beneficiaries under the age of 18, which it sounds like original poster and her sister were at the time the father passed away. I'm not sure the circumstances, but that could be how the grandparents were able to take the funds intended for her and her sister. But edited to add not the butthole. Not the butthole. What do they expect after literally stealing inheritance completely and not contacting you with at least a phone call for literal years? And psychologically damaging 2 very young children. Edit, wording. Not the butthole. They stole the money meant for you and your sister, they haven't had contact with you, which I don't know if sending a gift card can really be described as contact, since you were 10, and they literally blamed your family for the death of your father, which is literally so crafty. You literally don't have any connection to them, and they certainly aren't entitled to any. And they stopped the cards years ago, so if they did count at one point they aren't happening now. Grandma can cry all she wants. I don't believe for a second they are real tears. Or if they are, it's because a narcissist can't handle their sins being thrown back at them. Info: if you haven't seen them since you were 4 or heard from them since you were 10, how did you recognize each other? Original poster replies. I heard the pharmacist say my grandfather's name and I don't know how they recognized me, probably stalking my mom's Facebook or something. Further info: how sure are you that everything happened the way you said it did? Given your age, those details which aren't secondhand are distorted through the lens of a young child's memory. If I were you, I'd be intensely curious, asking your aunt, etc., what she remembers to get a better picture. I definitely wouldn't open the door to the grandparents, could be you're right on about them, but I'd still want to get the full story, if only to be confident that you made the right choice. Original poster replies. I have asked my dad's sister, my mom's parents and my older cousins on my dad's side who were 10 and 13 at the time. All of them have confirmed that what I remember is what happened. I think it's likely the truth, based on their reaction to your excellent summary of their ah-iness. If any of it were not true, surely one or both of them would have immediately protested, something like "but that's not true. None of that happened. Those are lies." I would certainly want to get the facts straight if someone were accusing me of abandoning my grandchildren and stealing their money. I don't think they would have just let you walk away if what you said wasn't what really happened. From what original poster says, they didn't deny it, just try the disrespectful angle, which is what crafty parents and grandparents use when they have no other way to try to coerce you to talk to them or do what they want. This story doesn't make any sense. Grandparents shouldn't be able to steal life insurance payments from the children of the deceased. Unfortunately, if Dad intended for it to go to kids but didn't update paperwork to ensure that it happened, it's pretty common for adults to get the money instead. Ideally, those adults have the kids' best interests in mind and safened it for them instead of keeping it. The life insurance payments will go to the named beneficiaries. This isn't like dying without a will where the law dictates who get what. Normally, you're prompted to update your life insurance policy annually. The father died when his youngest was 4, so he passed on 4 chances to update the policy and ideally allocate more money to his wife and kids. Regardless, his parents didn't steal anything. Not the butthole, and if the truth hurts them, it is their own fault. What they did and said to you both when your dad died and now is horrible. I know it has been a long time, but did you ever think about suing them for the money? I know you probably will say I don't need or want it, but it is the principle of the thing. It should have gone to you and your sister. Maybe hitting them where it hurts money-wise will get them to realize they were in the wrong. Original poster replies. I'll definitely look into that. Thank you. Almost definitely more to this story than you know about. First off, you were 4 when your dad died. You've grown up believing that his parents blamed you and your mom. Where did that idea come from? At 4, even if they had said it directly to you, you wouldn't have understood it. That idea came from someone else, either someone repeating it to you, or someone making it up. I do know grieving parents say awful things sometimes, so it may be true that they said it, and might even be that they meant it, but for you to grow up thinking this is wrong. Secondly, just because they didn't have contact doesn't mean they didn't want it. I know so many parents and grandparents that desperately want to be in their kids' lives, but are prevented. It's really hard to be blocked over and over, and I can't blame anyone for giving up. We don't know how long or hard they tried. Thirdly, Babies R Us gift cards worked at Toys R Us. Fourthly, keeping the life insurance money is only possible if they were the beneficiaries. Similarly, to the first point, who told you about this? Who told you what that money was for and that they kept it? You were 4 when this was going on, you shouldn't have to worry about it. By the way, probate law is super complex, and almost always there is less money left over than people realize. Especially as the departed had debts. You've grown up hearing your mom's side of the story. Even if your mom is the most wonderful person in the world, people are still biased toward themselves. It sounds like she shared a lot of stuff with you, that even if true, you shouldn't have known about. Are you a butthole for going off on your grands? I don't think so. So I guess my vote is info, but you need more info too. You owe it yourself to sit down with them, ask them what happened. Wow, an actually critical assessment of a situation on r/AmItheButthole/A? That's like finding a unicorn. Good on you for considering all of this. The story sounds really inconsistent, so either we and or original poster don't have all the information or the story is fake. People aren't usually just walking stereotypes, tropes or cartoons. If anyone really thinks that you can accurately judge such a long and complicated seeming story based on 7 short paragraphs, then they may want to reevaluate how they think of humans. Reddit link. Not the butthole. If they wanted respect, they should have shown some to you and your family. Not the butthole. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, Please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.